Natalie Weinberg.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. Hey everybody, thank you for joining this installation of the night show. I got a super cool person with me today. I'm so excited. I'm like tripping over my words. I got Natalie Weinberg, aka Natalie the artist, aka Natalie the dopest human on the planet, aka Natalie, aka what else should I call you?
Artist Natalie.
Artist Natalie. Yeah.
Even though like I'm trying to like erase my identity, so I can
I'm starting new. I'm running away, as you can tell.
I'm so much more.
Yeah. No. I like hanging out with you because you got layers.
Oh.
Yeah. You're creative with a lot of layers.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think the best of us.
Yeah.
Have a lot of complexities to us. So I appreciate you.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
This is my first time on a podcast.
Well, welcome. I'm glad that you decided to make me the first podcast you've ever been on.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm Steven. Nice to meet you. No, man, it's crazy because I came across your art and I was like, oh, this stuff is like really dope. Like I really like what this person's making. And then we just kind of ran into each other when I was filming for the AK Fashion Week. And then I got to actually meet you. And I'm like, oh, she's super cool. And then like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And that was like an afterthought. But then eventually I was like, maybe I should invite her on the show. Maybe she'd be interested. And then boom, here we are.
I'm super honored. You're also super talented and multi-leveled. So it's cool to find those people, especially, in like a community like this.
Oh yeah, especially after last year and all that stuff. It's good to kind of get back to like normal socialization and just being able just to communicate and talk with folks.
And this is like feels bigger than that because it's like you're expressing, and so am I, and it feels super supportive of each other, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
it's not like anything is being done for like selfishly. It's like everyone wants to lift each other up, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, that's why I've been trying to get more businesses in town, but not necessarily just because I want to like interact with businesses. I just like the person or like the people or I just like the idea that they have. So it's like, oh, cool. Like I wanted to create this platform so I could have these types of conversations. Because, the other day when we were sitting here talking, like we were having such a good conversation. And I'm like, oh, this is something I listen to on a podcast. If this wasn't just us talking, like this is like a topic that I'm actually naturally interested in.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, people are so complex and layered and, there's a lot you can get in just a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that actually being in a small town and being, like everyone has like a mask that they wear when they walk around, but everyone's so complex and layered.
Yeah.
And, I think, I made a joke about it. I want to remove my identity. It's the same feeling of like wanting to like run to a place that like no one fucking knows who you are and like just start over.
Yeah.
But it's, what I'm saying is, because it's a weird feeling to be like pigeonholed and have an expectation to be a certain way and then just like sort of unravel in so many other ways. So yeah, I'm an artist and I'm Natalie, but I'm really just existing and there's so much to that. It's really wonderful. So now I'm here right now, which is pretty wild.
Yeah. No, I feel the wildness because we were just having a conversation earlier, and I was having a conversation with my best friend. And it was like, it's crazy, like where we're both at because he was with me when I bought my first camera, and it was really just to kind of like dick around with my friends and like, oh, let's just take pictures while we're out. No one like to look better, and then eventually just like, oh, I should turn this into something that I want to do, and then it turned into a podcast, which turned into like people actually asking me to do photography, and then it became, oh, that's Steve, the photographer. Huh?
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's like flattering.
Yeah.
It's so flattering to be recognized for something that you're super passionate about, something like your creation, but also it's a weird feeling. Like, when you, I'm sure you haven't like really, I mean, you're so multi-talented. You're doing so many things at once. So I feel like, you know, maybe even like that being like, oh, Steve the photographer, like that might have like shocked you a little because it's like ripping you from like I don't know, it's like you have to decide whether or not to attach to the perception of another. Like it's just, but also, you know, own it, I guess. Like don't fear your power, but I don't know. I think a lot about this kind of stuff.
No,
especially in a small town. Like, it's really funny. I'm from Miami, and I came to Juneau, and I've been in Juneau, like, back and forth for, like, 5 years. But this time in the pandemic, I came back, and it was like, okay, so I came back to Juneau. I might have to backtrack a little bit after this, just for fun. But
I like callbacks. You know?
Okay. So, because I was like sitting in Miami, like super fucking lonely, depressed because of the pandemic. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is like, if you wanted to see anyone, it's like 45 minutes away. My Instagram had just started to gain some like traction.
Yeah.
I won't have to backtrack because I'm just going to drop it in now.
Okay.
I'd gone through a breakup. I was super sad. Pandemic happened. I'm like, oh, fuck, let me just listen to Amy Winehouse cry and draw. And then...
It's effective sometimes.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing something with that pain, it's very effective.
Oh, shit, yeah. And then, like, just, like, basically, like, putting my... Like, it kept me very present, like, to make art. Like, I was just, like... It was so physically and mentally, like... synchronized that like it was really hard to like leap back and just like freaking ruminate. So anytime I felt myself ruminating over like what I did or what I could have done or why I was just like, let me just fucking do something. It's like the same way like when people are like running or fucking dancing, they're like in the moment.
Right.
So it really helped. It was super meditative for me, and out of it you know, my Instagram started picking up, you know, like really wildly. In a year, it gained like freaking 18K followers in a year.
Wow.
So that was like, so I came here when I had like a little bit less than that, like maybe like whatever, like 6,000, and it was such a cool opportunity because in Miami you're kind of invisible. Like in Miami there's a lot of talent and it's a lot of hustle and it's so easy to get lost in it, and it's so hard to like be seen unless you're like part of like a fine art scene,
Right.
which is kind of a sham to begin with. Because people just use fine art for like tax write-offs. But like it's really hard to make it as a working artist, and it was hard for me. Maybe it's not hard for everyone. For me it was hard. Everyone has a different experience.
Yeah.
But I came here and I was like walking down the street. Within like freaking 2 days I had 2 First Fridays booked and already a commission for a small business.
Yeah.
Like within 2 days of being here, being back in Juneau, like it was such a supportive, like welcome thing. So I was, you know, it was really wild to walk into something. And then like, I think, I don't know, like within like, since being here, like my following has grown. I have a lot of like local connections too. And, I don't know, it's pretty rad, like to be so supported. But it's also weird because like in a small town, like I was about to say, like everyone has a mask. Like you meet so many freaking people. You can't deeply get to know everyone without having a mental breakdown. So you're like, hey, what's up? Hey. But like, you know, they do that to you too. It's only so much they can conceptualize you as a person before like their brain breaks. Like they can't do that. So it's easy for people to just take what their masks are. But and And while it feels intimate because it's such a small town, you know everyone, there is like a lack of depth sometimes that I think gets to me. Like navigating that in this small town.
Yeah.
Like wondering like more about people. And then, I don't know. I think we're all just trying our best, but I was just noticing.
No, and I feel that, man, because I've lived in Florida and Key West for a while and traveled up to Miami a bunch of times and understanding like how much hustle that is. I lived in Long Beach and LA before here for like 4 years, so I mean that's all this started. But like I think it's something kind of unique to be able to move from one environment and then just see how much you can just kind of explode, because people are literally like fucking with your like with your work. They see it and they're just like, oh, that identifies with me.
Yeah,
I like this.
Resonates.
It resonates with me. I want to interact with this person. I want to actually get a piece of this. I want to get to know who they are as a person better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool means for connecting, for sure. So I've pretty much used it to be, I think I went through a phase where I was like picking up a lot of like steam with it. And I was like, oh, this is money. Like, fuck yeah. And then like all my work that I made that with like the intention of like making money, like was shitty. But anything I made to like truly authentically express myself, like they're my favorite pieces that I've made. And I think they resonate more with other people too. Anything I was like, I think people will buy this. No, it was fucking ugly. It was like so uninspired and like dumb. But anytime I just like really used it as a means for like genuine expression. Yeah. So I think once I realized like people are going to take me for what they see on the outside. So let me just be totally transparent. Let me just be totally vulnerable. And that's who I am, like show them. I mean, yeah, like, when we present ourselves, it is very curated. And like, I acknowledge that. But I also am trying to, it feels uncomfortable to suppress things. It feels like people are going to find them out anyways. So I'm just trying to be totally honest with like who I am. And like, it's more for me than anything. But it's cool that it resonates with people. Yeah. It's really cool that I have an audience. I'm really grateful for it. Like, it means a lot to me. But everything that I make that's good has nothing to do with anyone else but me. Because I'm existing in my body. And, like, I am dealing, like, this is, I mean, we're all doing it. Yeah. We're all freaking, I don't know how we're all fucking doing it. It's so wild. I think about it sometimes. I'm like, how are you guys just like
navigating,
how
existing?
does this like not like blow your mind? Yeah. Like, so I'm just like here, just trying my best. And but yeah, the stuff that I do for me is the stuff that resonates with more people because it's genuine. Yeah. That's how I connect, by just expressing the stuff that wasn't meant for anyone else, just sharing a piece of me. And when they connect with it, they're not connecting with me. They're connecting with their own experience. Right. In a reflecting on me. Yeah. And it just shows like we all like, we're all just here. We're all different, but we're all the fucking same. Right. So it's pretty rad.
Yeah, existing, trying to get from this day to the next day. And I think what you were saying, like, I always rely on this thought process. Like, people like Beyonce's music because of, or herself because, like, she's the best at being herself in a way. Even though there's a whole manufacturing, like, a system behind it. But it's like, oh, this is kind of curated based on, like, who you already are as a person. Yeah. So, like, the more art you make that is more relatable to yourself, you start to realize at a fundamental level, everybody's dealing with the same thing. Yeah. Everybody has a heartbreak they're dealing with. Everybody has some loss. They have the joy. They have the goofy accidental, like, oh my God, I can't believe I sent this text message to the wrong person. Everybody's done something like weird, goofy, whatever, but dialed, their boss on accident, something goofy. Like, you make art that reflects that, and it's like, oh, that's me. Yeah. That's something that I do.
It's really refreshing and I mean, I can say it from like, a creator's But I've also experienced art like that, where like I feel so close to it because I'm like, holy shit, like, yes, and I don't know, it's pretty beautiful that we all have this in us. I feel I hate when people are like, I'm not creative at all. It's like we're constantly creating everything, like we're constantly curating the moment that we're in. Like we created this moment between us. You're here in front of me, like that required like intention and effort, and I think we have so much power over like how we live our lives and how we create and things like that. So I think that it's really cool to be able to actually own it. Sorry, I like got a little sidetracked in my head.
No, you're good. Like I was vibing with you. Like it was just like, it's like this invisible frequency that's like, oh yeah, I'm like 100% on track with that.
Thanks for pulling me back, because sometimes I space out.
You get lost in the universe, man. Just takes you down these little wormholes. You start portal jumping.
I'll like start saying something and I'll be like, what the fuck was I talking about?
It's like 6 streams of consciousness going on. That's what it, like when it's effortless, you know what I'm saying? Like when sometimes like you'll just be like, when did I like I'm sure there's been like times you've like been creating something and you're like, when did this happen?
Oh my God, every time. I'll be like, holy shit, I made that. I'll make something and I'll be like, wait, what? It's kind of like when you're driving and like you forget like the fact that you were driving and you just end up in a place.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, it's like you, or like sometimes you're driving, you're like, oh fuck, I'm driving. You know what I mean?
I really hope I didn't go through some crosswalks. Everybody's doing. I was watching this freaking TikTok my buddy sent me, and it was just some guy driving. It's like when the moment you realize when you're driving that you're driving, you're like, oh. It's like, oh, okay.
I know. So I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I don't know. We're all somewhere in our heads, but we're still. Sometimes our thoughts match our motions, but sometimes you just arrive at a place. Yeah.
So it's out of the frame right now, and you guys can't see this. Y'all can't see this, but Natalie has some of her dope artwork. You mind showing some of that to us?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Totally. And also, you know, we can talk about like what it's about.
Yeah, like I'm saying. Yeah.
So I forgot my favorite piece.
Okay. Is it on your
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to bring this one up.
Okay. Yeah, bring it up, and then we got Kelly today on the board. She's holding it down. Shout out to Kelly.
Woo! Okay, so basically, I wanted to say that sorry.
No, you're good. And for the folks listening, you should probably watch this on YouTube so you can actually see some of the artwork because it's super dope.
Yeah, or check out my Instagram. It's Artist Natalie. Literally, that's it. You can just get there and
That'll do it.
Like, just relive this in your head.
Quick type.
So, okay, so I hope that it loads okay. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
So okay, so you know how everyone's like, they're going through like some sort of existential crisis.
And if they're not, they're lying.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Well, then maybe I'm a liar. Basically, like, I think about things super existentially, but I've found a way to like, instead of it being like a crisis, it's like this like, I have like turned it into like this opportunity to like swoon about being alive.
Yeah.
Or like about, I don't know, it's like I've been able to heal so many parts of me through thinking about things existentially. It's like this big zoom out.
Yeah.
And in that, like, erasing these like ingrained and conditioned constructs of reality that aren't actually real.
Right.
And just thinking about like actuality and what actually exists, like, has been super, super healing for me.
Yeah.
And in that, I've realized how much power I have in my perception of existence. So this piece that you see in front of you, it's called Perception. And it was inspired by like this quote. Like the actual piece was inspired by a quote I read by an artist that I really like. I don't know if you've heard of him. I'm sure you have. His name is Alex Gray.
Okay.
He's super trippy, Like,
oh yeah, I think I just recently, I think you had like posted up something and related to him or somebody. And
possibly, yeah.
And I went to that page and I'm like, oh,
He's
goodness.
always thinking about consciousness and spirituality. And so a lot of people look at my work, and I won't deny it. Like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, they're making, all bodies are beautiful. It's so body positive. Like, that's so wonderful. And yeah, I won't lie. Like, I started making artwork that looked like my body in order to like myself more, for sure. And it still does have that same effect. Yeah. But it's definitely gone beyond that with when my brain got like sort of left current realities that are like told to us. Like, you know, like once I started zooming out and like realizing what existence meant, like, and like I sort of had this, I don't know, I hate the word, awakening.
Okay, epiphany.
Yeah. I love that word.
Yeah, let's do that.
Revelation.
Yeah, have this revelation.
Okay. I don't know. So I just sort of started seeing my work as a vessel to express deeper truths, not just, all bodies are beautiful. Yeah, fuck yeah, they're all beautiful, but it's not even about that. Like, they're all miracles. The fact that we're literally able to experience existence in the first place is mind-blowing. Yep. The fact that the entire universe perfectly sustains our ability to exist in this moment and like literally is mind-blowing. And then the fact that we're constantly challenging that with like, oh, I fucking look like shit, like, oh, my belly. It's like, go fuck yourself. Your belly literally is made out of everything in the universe and is keeping you alive and is keeping you and like you're able to experience the universe. You can digest food. You can taste fucking food. You can feel everything. You can literally interact with the entire fucking universe in your body. It's fucking perfect. Yeah. It looks perfect. Yeah. It looks like it's made to do what it's fucking made to do. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think that we should even focus on beauty. It's mind-blowing. It's perfect.
Yeah, and beauty is a spectrum. I mean, you know, it's cliche, but then you say, oh, beauty is an eye of the beholder. But it's like, all right, well, the first step is to maybe you need to see yourself as beautiful. And then you would start to interact with the world very differently because it's like, all right, if we're all in the universe, and it's kind of like a part-whole situation. I mean, especially when you talk about consciousness. Because either scientifically or spiritually, it's like, oh, God is all of us. Or goddess is all of us. Or source or spirit or whatever noun, whatever word, whatever, you know, verb you want to use to like express or explain what this all is right now. It's like, oh, it's like a reflection. So if I see myself as beautiful and not in a conceited way or whatever, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't talk poorly about Natalie because I'm not going to disbelieve the fact that she thinks she's beautiful based on some preconceived notions based on a society that don't even really
fucking dare.
Oh, don't you dare. I thought we were friends.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we're all in charge of our own experience. Yeah. And like you can blame society for conditioning you. But once you fucking realize how much power you have over your perception, if you continue to just fucking go with whatever's happening, then you're doing yourself a disservice to like live an authentic life that's like actually connecting to what's happening versus like it's kind of hard once you realize certain things are like made up. Yeah. You know, like beauty constructs. They're not based in anything. They have no validity. You know? They're literally built in like white supremacy, anything, you know, all these social constructs that are just not like they're not valid. Right. They have no merit. You know, once you realize that, if you continue to like let your mind work in that way, like if you continue to subscribe to it, like that's
you're perpetuating the falsehood.
That's a choice.
Yeah, it is a choice.
You can stop blaming fucking society for blaming for you hating your body, and you can take ownership of the fact that now you know it's not fucking real. Let's like zoom the fuck out. And I'm not saying, I feel like I'm saying this and it sounds like I've got all my shit together. Like I don't hate my body or anything. It's just that I do sometimes, you know, because it's like conditioned. It's so deeply ingrained in me to like freak out or whatever the fuck. Like, or like not like, we are so conditioned to want something more. It's like the human condition to keep going for something that's not us, whether it's more money or a different looking body, or if you know, anything like more or something different. It's like we can't accept ourselves as perfect in the moment. Like, so I'm not saying that I don't deal with that. I'm just saying that now that I've had this sort of fucking epiphany that really steers my art as well, which I'll get into, I just realized like it's always, I can go back to it. I can go back to those deeper truths and they can remind me, and it's like, oh shit, like who cares like what fucking society thinks? Like I'm like here, and that's crazy.
Society is one of those terms like when people say the public. It's like, what's the public? It's you, it's me, it's Kelly, it's a bunch of people walking downtown right now. Like there are norms that we subscribe to for specific reasons, but there are some that we're subscribed to just because it's just been, you know, people in positions of power have normalized them and basically instructed us and empowered and enriched other people to keep holding that shit up as a standard.
I know, and so it's so funny because like people really believe that that they're acting in free will. Like people believe like, oh, like let's say a guy who like, you know, is only like attracted to thin white blondes. It's like, no, that's just like my preference. That's like, and like they believe they're acting in free will. And I think that there's a purity in like, you know, being able to choose whoever the fuck you want. But if there's like, if you take me and then you take like a thin white girl and there's 100 guys in the room, and in America 97 of them choose the thin white girl and then 3 of them choose me, when really inherently we're both perfect the way we are, it just shows you that it's not actually free will. You're so deeply conditioned that you can't like realize that, or you don't want to accept it. And I'm not mad at people. I'm not angry at it because it's like not anyone's fault, really. I think it's people's responsibility to like wake up and realize that they're not acting out of free will or preference. Like, you know, like there's just so much to it that's like, how are you really going to authentically connect with people if you're just living your life based off of what's been told to you? Like, how are you connecting to your experience? Yeah. How are you really here right now? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then like it denies, especially when you talk about, because like in that instance, we're talking about mating. We're talking about like trying to find like physically whatever attractive mates. But then that is very much dependent on like what's constantly being showed to you as, this is a healthy woman. This is a healthy man. This is someone who has access. This is someone who has political power, social power. And then if it keeps looking like how you said, like a thin blonde white woman, then, you know, men will look at that and like, oh, that's what that means. It's like that's symbols.
It's just symbols. I mean, I don't want to negate this thin white. I don't want to like objectify this thin white blonde woman. I'm sure she's fucking great.
Yeah, right.
She's a wonderful person. We're probably best friends. But honestly, like, I'm just saying.
But but
I'm just saying in general, like, you know.
No, but like we're talking about like, you know, especially in Western culture, like that's kind of like a societal like, you push the like, oh, blondes have more fun, you know, like that whole thing. Like, you know, you see like young women even now today, they'll say like, you know, stuff like that because it's like it is kind of encouraging, like especially like young women to like, oh, maybe if I get my hair and I turn it this color, that'll attract more attention from this person.
I mean, there's so much. But
that's just an example. This is one example of like.
Well, there's so much. Literally, you know, the economy relies on us hating ourselves.
Oh yeah.
So it's not good
economically
for people to realize, oh shit, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm like so cool and like I'm alive. Whoa. Like, I don't know. But I mean, this is all valid. And it's so funny that we like got to this. I mean, I probably steered it this way. This idea.
I was ready to have this conversation. This is basically kind of what we're going down last time.
So it got to this idea of like you know, attraction. Because, you know, a big fuel for my work I will be totally transparent. When I was younger, when I was a kid, you know, and I'm sure so many people will resonate with this, especially if you're a woman, like my value was ingrained in how attractive I was to another. You know, like, Natalie, if you don't lose weight, you're never going to find a boyfriend. Natalie, if this happens, then, you know, it sounds like so fucked up to some people, but I'm pretty sure some people like, yep, I've heard that one before. You know, like, you're, and then it's in your head, like, wait a second, no one will love me if I look like this, or this is why I'm unlovable, or, so that was definitely fuel to the fire of, like, me trying to reclaim ownership over, like, my image, you know, like, be like, hold on a second, the roots of my healing work through my art definitely, you know, I mean, if you haven't figured it out, I paint chubby bodies, you know, like they look like me, you know, but like, you know, definitely is in line with like trying to erase that narrative for me, or like at least reclaim ownership, or maybe deep down prove that I'm sexy. Like, because that's so sad that I had to prove that, like, that was like prove it to myself and prove it to other people. Like, oh, actually, like, I am hot. But the thing is, I think that my work has really evolved in my head. It might look the same as it did,
right,
like same energy because it's me and like whatever. But like so much of the substance behind it, the fuel for making it has really evolved. And I think I just hold like a little bit more awareness to like why I make things, or why I've done this. But basically what I was saying is like so much of us, so much of our, it's sad that so much of our like, our fuel is like to get the validation of another. Of here it would be like society, or it would be a lover, or your mother, or whatever the fuck. It's literally, we're putting so much of our power into the hands of someone saying yes or no to us. And why do we do that? We do it so subconsciously all the time. Like, I don't know. I'm constantly questioning that shit.
Yeah, and I feel it, and it's kind of it's unsettling, because then like you're always chasing wherever society kind of goes. Like, you have to like follow that path. So it's like you're always morphing into like this idea, versus just be morphing into yourself.
You're always doing it unless you reclaim your power and your agency, and you don't fucking do it. That's
big talk.
It really requires a lot of intention and a lot of awareness and a lot of self-reflection. And honestly, sometimes it feels like I'm going to drive myself fucking crazy. The amount of
then you're doing it right.
So the amount of self-reflection I do.
You're doing it right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm feeling I'm going nuts right now.
But it's better. It's better than to like live in a fucking mental trap. Whether it's body or this or whatever the fuck, or money or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, why are we living in these traps? Like, we should free ourselves.
Yeah. And for some folks that works. I think for some others.
To live in the trap?
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly packaged.
Yeah. And you don't have to like, you don't have to make decisions based on, your integrity. You don't have to really make decisions based on, your real self-worth, self-efficacy, the way that you actually want to, it might be more sacrifice than folks are willing to actually like put in for. So it's better just to like turn it off, set it to cruise control, and just check the boxes.
Yeah, I think that even me, like, I definitely go through like it's like a wave. It's like sometimes I'll just be like, all right, we're vibing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like, oh shit, am I vibing? Or is the vibe vibing me? I don't know.
Meanwhile, the vibe's like, what's going on? She all right?
Calm down.
Calm down, man. It's cool. Water's fine.
Take some Dramamine.
Stand up. You're in the shallow end. Stand up.
Okay, so I know
What's
this
this?
is your show, but... Sorry. I said, I know this is your show, but...
It's your show today, apparently. I like it. I like this.
But, like, I wanted to, like, show my art.
No, keep talking. Keep going through your stuff, man.
Is that chill?
No, yeah, what I'm going to say. Before you do that, what is this piece behind you? Because I've just been...
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've just been staring at it because behind you. You probably forgot it was even there.
Okay, so if you are aware, a lot of my work contains cats. Specifically, a large gray cat. I have a cat.
Okay.
And you know, the whole thing for me is that she's honestly taught me a lot. You know what? Fuck yeah, let me pull something up about my cat.
Okay.
This is so perfect. Kelly, cue the video. Sorry about...
Kelly, you're freaking killing it.
Oh, I have such
It's
great...
like the second time I've ever used this. The first time I was using it myself. You're
I have
killing it.
so many things that I want to show you.
That picture in picture though. Boom.
Oh, fuck. Hold
Please show me. I'm ready to be
Yeah.
a witness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Here it is. Okay. So there's my cat. And that's me.
Let me see, because I can't show it to me. Oh.
And this is the Purple Cat series.
Okay.
And so sometimes when you live in quarantine with a cat and it's just you and your cat, honestly, this cat's presence is like just as big or bigger than mine. Like mentally, I feel like we're like mentally vibing.
Okay.
So that's why she appears
Kelly's
bigger.
nodding her head like, yeah, big cat energy. I understand that.
And I just find a intense amount of intimacy in, you know, having a little friend that follows you to everywhere. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is like, I think about this all the time. She's like a mirror for me. Like, I literally, maybe I'm just I project so much of myself on her. I'm like, this cat's just like me. But it's like, we do that to everybody, you know? But like, you know, she's got like this chubby belly and this beautiful face. And, you know, like she's so sassy and sometimes she bites and she's a Pisces.
Okay.
And she's me. But really, she's a fucking cat. Like,
Full circle. Which is good.
I just like put it in my fucking head of like, so we're like constantly projecting, and I'm even projecting onto my cat, basically. But you know, I just make this like little world. Can you go back? Yeah. So this is this piece, and it's just like, I don't know. I think you'll notice a lot of my work, the women have clouds in them. And that, for me, is symbolic of this idea that, like, we don't question the space that the universe and the sky and the elements in the sky take. Like, they are intentional in the space that they take. They've, like, no one's like, oh, fuck, that's a big sky. We need it to be smaller. It just exists exactly as it is.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
not just physically, emotionally, mentally. People are constantly telling women like, take a fucking seat, you know, or like anyone. Like, we're not allowed to exist fully in our power without judgment. And so I don't know how many times have someone, I mean, I don't know if this has been told to you, but I've been told them too much. Natalie, you're too much.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's too big or too loud or too this or too, I don't know, whatever the fuck they wanted to call me. But either way, hearing that over and over can make you want to shrink, or it can be like, oh shit, I'm not too much. And the sky is not too much. It's big and it's taking the perfect amount of space. I have to show you something.
No, I feel you on that. Like I'm totally vibing with that because I'm 6'5" and I'm 240. So I'm being told constantly that I'm intimidating. So a lot of times when I talk to people, I have to I consciously stand back or I try to sit because I don't know what it's like it's been a while since I've been 5'3", but I don't know what it's like to have somebody who's over a foot taller than me. But I'm like, I went to college, I was an athlete, I know 7'2" dudes, and I just sit there and talk to them, blah, 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 like a normal conversation. Like we don't have to make it weird. Bring the thing that you're insecure about up so constantly, and I feel like that's kind of the same way. Like people trying to make you shrink so that they feel more comfortable in your in shared space,
in your presence,
yeah, for
sure. And I think that's hard to deal with, and we should never shrink for someone else's comfort. Also, I have a question: if I play a video on this iPad, will the volume work in the video?
Yeah, just Kelly on the 3. Turn it'll say audio. Right above where 3 is, it'll be audio. You just have to hit the on button, yeah. So you just bring the volume down on that because it'll just be super loud.
Okay, we'll try. How does it work? Natalie?
You got this, Natalie.
Honestly, it might be super loud. I'm really sorry, listeners, because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to... Oh, wait, I figured it out.
Okay. Damn. I knew you got it. I knew you get it.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Actually, maybe I didn't. Hold on a second.
Yep.
It's so funny, I never had, Apple before I got this iPad.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still learning how to use it, but this is
Is your volume button on the sides?
Yeah, it is, but when I press it, it doesn't do the little sticky thing.
Oh, okay.
Sounds. Okay, here we go. Medium?
Yeah. Medium sounds good.
Oh, fuck, not that. Okay. This is important. This is an important video.
Okay. All right, I'm going to come around so I can look at it.
Hold on. Is it working? How come I can't hear it? You can't hear it? Okay. Let me know when it's ready. Hold on.
Oh yeah, click the video. It's on mute.
No,
what does it mean to exist?
You can hear it?
Yeah.
I guess you never really know.
Oh yeah, because it's running through the board and not through our soundboard. So just talk us through it.
Okay, I'm actually gonna just play it, and Kelly, you tell me when it's done, okay?
You have to tap it.
Mom, what does it mean to exist? I guess you never really know what you're gonna get. I adopted you when you were really small, and now you're getting really big, and it's kind of confusing. Wow, really? I'm the one who gives you rides to the grocery store, and that's how you treat me? Okay, rude. Hey, I'm learning that just like the mountains behind us, the space you take is perfectly appropriate. I'm so glad we exist.
So, question. Can the podcast listeners hear that? Or only the TV listeners?
No, the podcast listeners.
Okay, well, since you didn't hear, I'll just give you a quick runaround to what that was about.
Okay.
Basically, I asked my cat... my cat asked me, Mom, what does it mean to exist? And I was like, well, I don't know. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you're big, sometimes you're small. We don't know what's happening. And I was like, but in the video, my cat's getting big. And she's like, you're getting really big, and that's kind of confusing. And then my cat takes it all personally. What the fuck? I give you rides to the grocery store. I'm why now I'm too big for you? And then I'm like, no, you are perfectly intentional in the space that you take. And just teaching my cat that it's okay to be big. But truly, I'm teaching myself. But anyways, those are some of the cute things that I work through. And one of them is the amount of space you take. What was What was you? Well, sorry. Go ahead and ask me your next question.
No, I like that because it's, it can be applied to so many things, especially if like, as your work gets better, as like you start growing and evolving, it's hard for others. Like even as you go and you're just like, oh, I'm just being me, I'm just doing my thing, and you're just existing and being present in your own work. Then out of nowhere, people are like, oh, she thinks this about her based on this. And I'm like,
fuck yeah.
right? And I was like, oh, thank you for providing me your insecurities, and I see exactly who you are, and you just made yourself very naked in front of me.
I have another cat video to show you that's exactly about that.
Oh, dang.
Literally. Okay. I'm going to show the audience. But basically, Steven, it's about how when you... Sometimes, like, if you're feeling yourself, like, people project you as being too full of yourself. Yeah. And the truth is that that's... you taking up that space is uncomfortable to them. Right. But I want to show the audience because these videos are very fun for me to make. Yeah. And
they are cute.
Today. Well, hold on.
Is
it working?
Whoa, aren't you like afraid that people will think that you're full of yourself? Well, I used to, but I've been doing a lot of thinking. Is it that people's perceptions of you are only limited to their current state of consciousness? Well, yeah, and because you're determining your own worth versus relying on other people to confirm it for you, and that makes other people uncomfortable. I was just thinking it's more fun to like yourself. I don't know why you...
I think I'm going to do...
Is that it? Okay. Go ahead. Ask me.
Now, it's... I like that we got on this topic. Because it's like, I think recently, it's been hitting me. Like, this has been the most... Last year and this year, the last 12 months... Yeah, literally the last 12 months. And it's funny because it coincides exactly when I got out of my last relationship. Like, my last serious relationship. That relationship ended. And then... Literally like 2 days later, I just kept getting hit up for like doing podcasts. And I was like, I was low key kind of like starving to get like traction, like get folks to, come on the show and this, that, and the other. Things just kept getting canceled. And then like more photography stuff getting in and getting like paid gigs. And I was like, in that space, I felt like I had to shrink because that person wasn't comfortable with themselves. So then it made me like, have anxiety, which I have never really experienced. Mm-hmm. Like, I've had bouts of depression in the past, but I've never gotten to a point where it's like that depression turned into anger. I'm not an angry person, not a violent person, but it kind of got me there. And I've felt like I had to remind myself recently, like anytime somebody tries to put you in that space, clear it out.
Hell yeah.
Like, stop being afraid to be the bad guy. Because you're not.
Oh my God. Right? Oh my God, yeah. This really resonates.
I'm the bad guy in somebody's story. I'm a bad guy in some woman, some man's story that, Steve Knight did blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but then if you come on this side and it's like, oh no, actually what happened was you were, to quote Charlie Murphy, you were a habitual line stepper. Like you crossed that line. Dude. I was like, I kept telling you my boundary and then you crossed it and was like, okay, you got to go now.
Dude, this is so resonating for me. I think it's so uncomfortable to really... It's like you have to choose the discomfort. Like, do you want your boundaries to be stepped on? Or do you want to sit in the discomfort of standing up for them? And, like, either way, you're challenging yourself, but one leads to freedom and one doesn't. And, like, yeah, sometimes it's uncomfortable to be like, you're the bad guy or you hurt somebody's feelings unintentionally, but, like, you're really existing in your power, and like that is uncomfortable for people. Actually, one of my first lovers was a long relationship, and he was like super insecure and shit. And
unsubscribe. Straight up.
Yeah, unsubscribe. But he would give me these like backhanded compliments. He'd be like, wow, like you're so talented. Like if I had your talent, like I'd make all this like crazy shit, but like you always paint the same stuff. Like I don't get it. Like basically, because I'm always painting like pretty women with like fucking nature themes and like whatever. But either way, he was like, I don't get it. He's like, I don't know. And it was for me, I was like, I don't know. People are not always comfortable. They're just projecting, you know?
And that's what it is, man. It's like, then you have to go down to their vibration. You could.
I did for a while.
Yeah, have fun.
I was like,
that chest pain.
I know, it was, dude, and my fucking gut was bubbling. So anxious all the time.
It's just your body just saying like, hey, bro, hey, lady, hey, you, get out of there. Like, you know, it's like you start to sweat because it's too hot and your body's trying to cool you down. You get in these situations with people and it's like, you know, you get this discomfort, you start to itch, like you might break out in hive. Like, what's
oh my God, I once broke out in hives.
In the middle of
It's
oh God. We'll talk about that offline.
It's a very intense story. I'm just gonna say I'm now allergic to pineapple juice.
Okay. I'm not going any further than that. Parents, put the kids to bed.
And there were hives. And a lot of emotional stress at the same time.
Okay.
It was really intense. But anyways, I mean, I'm not afraid of this story, but like,
clearly.
But like maybe I don't.
Okay.
Say it.
Yeah. Let's.
It's off topic.
Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about that offline. Yeah.
Okay. What I was gonna say was, what were you gonna say?
No, I honestly like this is like, you know, just how much, you know, what you've been saying is just like resonating, like just in the last couple of, you know, just kind of go back to what I was saying, like the more I identify and practice agency, and I like that you used that word earlier. It's like the more I'm like, blame my Sagittarius side. Like I like to talk to people like I'm in their house, like spiritually, psychologically, mentally. So I'm always going to try and like build up the folks around me. Like how you were saying, like you're actually giving you like backhanded compliments. Like it costs you nothing to be a good person to other folks.
Yeah.
It literally costs you nothing. Your ego, okay, let it, because you're not accomplishing things in the world at a level, you're not executing any of the things you're actually trying to do. So now you got to step on this person who you say you love in order to feel better about yourself. Like, that's such like violence.
I know. It's insane that we like all go through it too. It's like, seems like these things we keep hidden away or like we're embarrassed about, but it's like, you know, when you can have these sort of conversations, like, and not have them be so heavy, just like talk it out. Like it doesn't actually have to be heavy. They can be super productive and you can have a lot of insight and you know, just keep growing. And it's funny because it's like, yes, we're perfect as we are, but it's also cool to heal the mind. Yeah. You know, because the mind is, it feels.
It doesn't forget, you know, the body remembers all that trauma and it kind of like accumulates. Oh yeah, right there. Right? your body like remembers like all that trauma, man. It's just like, you know, the more that you can like, especially like childhood trauma, like the more you can take time to focus on yourself and actually, you know, take accountability for you, because when you're a child and when you're a young person, you know, it's not your fault. Whatever the shit that happened to you, like none of that stuff is your fault. A lot of kids, even including like myself, like I had a moment, like deep meditation, like my mom, and I expressed some responsibility that I felt when I was younger for not being able to protect her when she was married to her ex-husband, and she was like, "That was never your responsibility." She's like, "Yeah, but I kind of like subconsciously didn't know that I was holding on to that, and then like it was manifesting itself." And like a lot of relationships that I was having, like especially like my female friends, if I saw them in a shitty situation, like I would try to like help them, at sometimes even to a potential detriment to myself. And at some point, I'm like, oh, there's agency in her choice to stay in that situation.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I gotta let that shit go.
Dude, it totally, like to say, it takes two to toxic. Like you can like hate your narcissist ex-boyfriend, but you were fucking there and you kept going back.
Right?
So honestly, take ownership.
Get out of my head, bro.
I'm sorry. Like I'm not. Well, I mean,
my head, sis.
I'm not saying that there aren't power imbalances. There are,
yeah.
and sometimes we could get really like manipulated into situations. I don't want to like. I mean, but it's there. For me, it's like I spent so long hating people based off of the way they treated me, and then it's like, hold on a second, like, why'd you still hit them up when you went back in town? You know, like. I was there for it, you know, I was present, and she had the choice. She has the agency, and like, people are always making choices. Everything's a choice.
Everything's a choice.
I mean, you can't control if like a bus hits you tomorrow, but like,
Right.
or if like the sun explodes.
Yeah, rock falls out the sky. Like that's totally outside.
Yeah, like
power.
you can get like a bad illness or whatever, but you can choose how you see the world.
Yeah.
You have, back to what I was saying.
Here we go. We're back on track.
Back to what I was saying.
I attribute that to like my diet. I think like.
Oh, I texted you this.
Yeah. Wait, would you text me?
Remember, I sent you that quote on Perception by Alex Gray.
Oh shoot.
Okay, so. Oh, sorry.
You good?
I'm back. Okay, so now I'm back and I'm showing you, if you, Kelly, would you? So this piece is called Perception, and there's this quote by Alex Gray, which I texted Steve, so let me find it, and sorry.
Tonight show.
Oops, sorry, all these random people that are now making the show. Okay, he says, be an artist of consciousness. Your picture of reality is your most important creation. Make it powerfully, profoundly beautiful. And that just is all about, like, you creating your vision of the world.
Yeah.
You can, like, for me, when I read that, I was like, literally on a god complex. I was like, oh shit! I'm the creator! I'm creating this shit! Oh my god! It was really insane. And now I've like fucking chilled out a little bit. But like, it was just funny. I remember driving in Miami and like the sunset was happening and I was like, I'm perceiving this. This is my reality. And the music was on and I was like, I don't know. I was like super manic.
No.
But I was also having a fucking epiphany.
Yeah.
And it was really rad. But, you know, with intensity. Woo! But anyways.
No, I like that. At the on some of my merch, it especially on the back of the hat, it says "Create Yourself." And
oh shit!
Yeah,
like
so
that.
it's like when I was 28 and I started to like kind of get this idea of like what do you like to do with your time, because like I was going through depression, I was suicidal, like all this other shit. And when I came out on the other end, it's like, all right, you got two options: you can create or destroy. And you've been destroying a whole lot. So now it's time to create something. And then like all of this shit started happening. And in that space, there was things that kept popping up. And my good friend Haru, who's been really like a brother and a blessing to me, he was like, we were having a conversation on my first podcast. And he was like, oh yeah, you know, you don't find yourself, you know, you create yourself.
Hell yeah.
And like that just was like,
yeah.
all these locks started going. I'm like, you fucking right. You're right. And then like that just turned into, you know, just trying to go hard, like just sacrificing to like make all this stuff happen. And it's like, I feel that way about every creative that I meet. Like, it doesn't matter if I don't even like what they're doing.
Yeah.
I respect the shit out of it because it's like, oh, that person probably had to do a lot of X, Y, and Z in order to get to where they are. So if I don't even like the art, I still respect the art because of the hustle and the struggle and whatever stuff was going on the background. You know, freaking their dog died. You know, their uncle got sick. You know, they showed up late, they broke the leg, whatever. All the stuff that was happening in their life, yet they still showed up for themselves.
Yeah.
And it takes a brave soul to like show up for yourself.
I mean, it takes a brave soul or it takes a desperate soul.
Right?
You just have to like fucking choose. You know, for me, like a lot of, you know, I don't really, I'm so weird. I'm like, I don't really identify with mental illness anymore, but I used to be, when I was younger, I was like diagnosed with like a bunch of shit. Like, you know, I had like this really rough patch in college and like, it just was really ugly for some time. And I'd been diagnosed with this and this and this and this. And like everyone had something different to say. And they were never the same. And it's so weird how like I kind of just went with it. Like I was like, yeah, you know, like it's the second you identify with anything, it like sets the tone for the rest of your life. Yeah. You fucking call yourself, I'm not trying to negate from people experiencing stuff and like whatever way they want to experience it. But like let's bring it to a lighter level. You call yourself an empath and every single interaction you have, you've like set the tone to have like a responsibility to absorb someone else's emotions. All right. Like it's an unnecessary limiting box that you're putting yourself in. And you call yourself, I heard you do it earlier, you call yourself a Sagittarius. Right. We all do this. You know, I'm a fucking Pisces. My cat's a Pisces. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying the second you do that, like you set the tone for your interactions. Like, okay, what would a Sagittarius do? It's subconscious, but like it's also a decision. Right. Same thing happened with me in mental illness. Like, you know, it was not easy to figure out the truth of who I was when I was constantly being told what I was. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the filter of your like experience is always going to be like preset through whatever mental illness.
It's a lens.
Whatever, right? Yeah, it's just like,
it's a lens.
Oh, in order for me to see myself, I have to just all these, you know, oh, this childhood trauma, or I drive a Volkswagen, so I'm a Volkswagen driver, or I got a Jeep, so I'm a Jeep driver, and I'm this, and I'm this.
It just shows you, like, in order to create yourself, you need to erase the parts that, like, not erase them, but like identify the parts that you don't identify with. Yeah, you know, like, so for me, it's like I don't like now, like looking back, like 10 years later, I've done so much healing, so much like revelations. It hasn't been easy, but like, you know, I don't think you could like I don't think I could see like a therapist and then he could confidently, or she can confidently tell me that I'm X, Y, or Z. I just don't believe it. Yeah. I feel like I've literally changed my brain. You can literally change your brain. Oh, 100%. Like,
with intentful living. You know, yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I mean, this is like controversial stuff. I feel like some people are really hung up on like identity and like, you know, and they use them like to heal. Like, you know, like they're like, oh, fuck, this is what's wrong with me. Right. Like, and that helps.
It's a good tool.
That helps them. Yeah. So I don't want to like shit on anyone's experience. No. I'm just saying what happened to me and this is my experience. Like, everyone needs to like figure it out for themselves. You know, right. If you fucking need a therapist, go. I'm not telling you not to. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I went to therapy for a long time and it just made me feel like there was something wrong with me when it's like, oh, actually, like, I actually have the power to like create my own, like, my own existence. Like,
that's the other side of it too. So if like you go into therapy now, would just kind of be like, oh, I'm about to have a conversation with this lady fucking hour about,
I don't know.
I guess existence.
They might find something to label me as. I mean, who the fuck knows?
I mean, it's like, especially getting paid by a certain. So if their practice is dependent upon how many prescriptions they write, which is a thing that happens, yeah, of course they're gonna find something.
I mean, and
have you been sleeping? Right?
Actually, like last night, like I didn't go to bed till like 8 a.m. because I was making an illustration.
Interesting.
Which is,
are you addicted to your work? Right? I know these I know these roads. I've been down these roads.
It's before. Like, why can't? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because like we're so you know, there's so many things in line, like to like live a certain way, like this way is healthy, or like this is the right way, and it's like, you know, like I don't always agree with everyone. They don't always agree with me. Like, my job is not to be agreed with. But, like, I think when I know things so powerfully and, like, I feel like when I feel confident in certain truths, like, and my mind's very, like, flexible, but there's certain things that I've come to deep personal truths with that, like, literally you can say whatever you want. Like, it's not going to change how I see the world because I've already, like, had the fucking revelation, the epiphany, and, you know? But anyways, oh yeah, what do you want to see next?
I love this conversation. I mean, I know I'm gonna have to cut it eventually, but let's go to
Never.
I know, right? Just keep saying here, like, let's get lunch, let's go get dinner, let's go get dinner.
I'm so hungry. Oh, okay,
What is this one called?
Oh, this one is, okay, so sometimes I do, like, adaptations on, like, classical work, but in my figures. So this is, like, the Venus.
Yep.
The Botticelli's Venus. And she's coming out of a clam. But it's different because they're also all embodying the elements.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this one is earth, that's water, that's fire, and that's air. And I just, like this painting a lot.
Yeah.
So I made my own version. I also, I have
You did an adaptation, and you said that, and I was like, oh, just reminded me, like, one of the things that, like, you did one of the tortured woman.
Yeah, I have to show it to you now.
God.
Can you go to thank you. Okay, and I will read what I wrote here.
Yeah, please.
And we could talk about it because it's funny because I actually so it's funny being on Instagram because I actually got, like, some pushback here. Like, people were like, because I made this piece and I also, like, wrote some shit and people are like, I don't know about that.
Okay, that's cool. That's why it's art.
Yeah, I know. So this is an adaptation of The Cursed Woman. Yep. I'm going to show you the original. The Cursed Woman by Francois Octave Tester. And it's just, I love this meme. Because she's called The Cursed Woman, but it says she looks like she's doing fine.
Yeah, I love that one. Like, look, she's doing fine.
And it's so funny. So for me, this piece was about a time in my life. Last week.
We're so involved now. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, Steve. This was last week.
I was dealing with a lot of lustful emotions, and I was noticing and witnessing in myself. I'll read this to you because I wrote it so well. But okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Having revelations about the discomfort of sitting with lust, how it manifests in my body and drives me recklessly into self-neglect and self-abandon, how it denies pure connection and operates like blinders on a horse, how it disregards the immensity of any single moment. Lust is the surrender of my own power and places my experience in the validation or rejection of another. A repeated cycle I'm witnessing in myself and illuminating. It's wild how limiting this has been for my experience and how I've denied my agency over my perception, actions, and my thoughts. I've let my experience be piloted by a single, fleeting, and narrow emotion that will never be fulfilled as long as it exists as a replacement for authentic connection. So...
The flesh is never satisfied.
Yeah, well, it's anything that's comes from a state of lack.
Yeah.
If you're coming from a state of lack, then it's not, there's nothing that can fill it. The state is just, it's not satiable.
Yeah.
Because, you get something, then you want more. Or, like, it's temporary. But either way, I'm not saying, some people are like, I don't get it. How come you, like, made, like, a sexual painting if you're so anti-lust? And I'm like, I'm not anti-lust.
Yeah.
It's a product of human emotion. It's natural. We all have it.
Right.
I'm witnessing it myself, and I'm witnessing the side effect and gaining this awareness that, yeah, it's fun. Sometimes you get laid. Sometimes you stare at people and they're hot. And sometimes, just sometimes, it makes you forget who you are.
Right.
Okay?
And do things outside of your nature to fulfill a want.
You know what, for me, what the noticing thing is that I was sitting in the bar, and I was with my friends, my two lovely friends, and I was like, yeah, these people are lovely. I literally, like, did not care about them at all, or, like, anything they were saying. Like, I couldn't even pay attention. All I could think about was this other person that was in another bar. And I was like, what if if I just fucking left them and like went over there? It's like my brain was not present.
Right.
There was so much going around with me. There was beautiful music, beautiful friends, people I have memories with, new people coming up on me. This immensity, the fact that I'm even existing in this moment, so wonderful. But all I could do was think about going somewhere else and putting my power in the fact that, like, let's say I walk over the bar, just, right across the street, because Juneau's really small. And let's say they're like, what's up? Or let's say they're like, eh. Either way, it's the same fucking energy, whether they gave you a yes or a no, because it's putting your experience in their hands.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you're hot. Or no, I don't think you're hot. You literally given them power. Either way. Who the fuck cares what they think? Why don't you just
enjoy the moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe having this revelation is going to be bad for my sex life, but honestly, I don't know.
Maybe good for your mental health, though.
But good for my mental health, because I notice how fucking, like, intense it makes me sometimes. I'm like, what? Yeah, have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
It's like you literally can't pay attention.
I know when I'm sitting there and I'm like, I have a moment and I'm just like licking my lips and I'm like, look at you, you fucking wolf. Like, calm down, hunt. Look at you, got that hunt on you.
I know.
Okay, I'm fine.
Laser wolf.
Yeah, right.
I know. And I just want to read one of my responses. It's so funny. So
we got to get out of here after this. Kelly's got places to be and all that good stuff.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Kelly.
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
Knock it out.
So this person just comments, the connection noted between lust and self-neglect is one I'm struggling to parse, especially in contrast to the art that appears to be about accepting abundant and generous passion from others. And I was so fucking annoyed by this comment because, oh my God, fuck, what if they follow me? Oh, fuck, they do follow me. I love them, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna just backtrack. I was annoyed at first because
being human.
because I was sitting at the campfire and I was like, oh shit, like, I have to respond to this person, and I feel like I've made it abundantly clear. And also, I'm not giving out a PSA on lust or like what to do with your life. I'm literally just expressing my experience, and that's personal.
Right.
And for me, I don't know why I have this people-pleasing nature of having to respond when really I don't have to. But, like, I felt weird not to. Also, I felt this need to, like, defend my work or, like, but also maybe this person was just coming at it. I was, like, going through all these mental gymnastics in my head. Like, maybe this person is just genuinely curious. They're a big fan of my work. They just don't fucking... they don't fucking get it.
And maybe they just need a conversation so it could be like, oh, I see where you're coming from. It's not like you're not judging anybody, you're not shaming anybody. I
don't know if that's what they needed, though, because they actually never fucking responded to my response. But I took some deep breaths. I did like some mental work on this. I was like, okay, Natalie, why is it so hard for me to respond to a comment? Like, and I think it's because I was holding my experience and revelation so sacredly when really, like, everyone's just going through it differently. And, like, also, yeah, it's a fucking sexual image. But I realized this. They didn't get it. My image is about connecting to your entire experience. Yeah. Like, if you notice, like, they're all embodying, like, cosmic elements. Like, they're all literally... they're not people. Like, they are people, but they're all me. Experiencing me as the universe. And, like, if that makes any sense, like, I'm just embodying all these cosmic elements coming together in the sensual experience of being alive. Versus putting which can happen in literally any moment. It has nothing to do with the validation of another. So that's why it's more of this lust for, like, connecting with the universe versus a lust for another person. And that's what I just wanted to explain. Anyways, what else do you want to ask me before we have to go? Because Kelly has to leave.
No, we don't want to make it too long. But, no, but I get it. You're like... It's like a straw man. It's these are principles.
Yes.
These are ideals. Yeah, ideas and ideals that, it's like a lot of older like Egyptian gods or whatever, like they're not actually manifestations of people, they're manifestations of principles.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Like when people
that's what it was.
knock shit down, it's like you're just knocking down a principle.
I was like, it's conceptual. Yeah. It's not like they're my... It's not like that sounds fun, but, like, it's not like I was, like, painting, like, a picture of Saturday night. That's not what I was doing. I was literally just expressing, like, a concept about connecting sensually and authentically with your experience.
Right, and the consequences throughout. all that experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nat, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me.
This has been so much fun. I'm already ready for the next one. I'm
yeah?
ready for the next one. I'm super ready.
I get a round 2?
Heck yeah, I want you back more. Man.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
But before we go, tell everybody where they can contact you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so if you... Okay, go to Instagram, follow me. It's Artist Natalie. And you can see my work. And I have... a cute little website, and you can buy prints, and I sell stickers, and here are some of my stickers I brought, so you can see. I don't know, can you see it, Kelly?
Kind of.
You know what? Go back to the screen really quick. Sorry. I don't know if is that too bossy. Okay, so like I sell stickers.
This is better.
Yeah, I sell stickers. I have prints for sale. You know, and
Bucket hats.
oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the bucket hats.
Okay, I actually have them with me. I just got, you know what's so amazing about digital work is that once you make it, you can use it again.
Yeah.
And I had these amazing bucket hats embroidered.
Oh, it's on the mic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I had bucket hats embroidered. I'm showing the mic like it's the mic. Like it's the, do you like it? Okay. So it's hard to see from the distance. Oh shit, my bad. Sorry, Kelly. I'm like looking at the monitor. It's hard to see what the design is here, but I'm gonna put it out so you can see how cute it is, and then I'll show you what it looks like in the camera because.
Love it.
Oh wait, this is weird with the hat. Sorry, I mean with the earphones. So yeah, so anyways, perfect summer staple. Definitely get yours. They're really cute, and come check out my pictures. Can you go to the thing? So these are like embroidered bucket hats that I designed, and if you know WAP, yeah. So
It's my anthem.
It's your anthem.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a macaroni. My
Okay.
favorite is bring a bucket hat and a mop.
Oh my! That's dope. I can't say mine because my mom is probably going to listen to this. So we're out of time. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Kelly. You guys are awesome. But until next time, night show.